My name is Shoba Verghese. We've been in Singapore for the last 25 years and more, a bit more. Gone, basically, I followed my husband around the world on his job. So we have two kids. We are about to become first-time grandparents. We're quite excited. Well, we're Singaporeans, firmly settled in Singapore. I was a teacher for a very, very long time. So I used to help out in a school in Africa, in Nigeria. Then when we moved to London, I actually started working in a Church of England school, in a parochial school. So that was like a full-time job. And when we moved to Singapore, I was first with an international school for a year, moved to another international school, and I was there for 16 years. So I just sort of changed career to become a counselor after I did my master's. So after 20 years of teaching, I've now changed about 5 years ago to become a counselor. As far as counseling goes, got a whole lot busier last year because of a lot more clients, especially with one certain client who was very, very well settled. I mean, I'm on the board of a charity and we only do work with the most needy people in Singapore. But I just realized when someone brought me this new client, and he wasn't a needy client. So I have a registered practice as well. So I'm on the board of a charity, and I'm also I have a registered private practice. So when this client came to me, I realized that this was about March, April. That made me realize that there must be a whole lot of more people struggling quietly and silently, but not reaching out for the help that they needed because at that point in time, I think there was a lot of job insecurity as well. So I just decided to take my private practice completely pro bono. And what I did was, when I made that decision, I sent out word to my friends, either in chat groups or just private messages saying, if you know anyone who was struggling and just wanted to talk and sort themselves out, let them reach out to me. Don't have to worry about the huge therapy costs. So then what happened is that I started receiving a whole lot of calls, and it was from within Singapore, it was from outside Singapore, and it really got really busy. It was all via Skype or WhatsApp video call. So that was quite satisfying because I was able to reach out to so many more clients, really very good. And I think all of the people appreciated it as well because they felt that there was somebody that they could just make a call and talk about what was bothering them, maybe, 3, 4, 5 sessions. That was really interesting. So that when you talk about impact of last year, from on the counseling side, that got me really busy, which was really, really satisfying. And on the personal side, I think it was just that my personal time was spent only in this. And then, of course, a lot less travel. And, you couldn't go for family functions abroad, weddings and social other events. So just being in Singapore. I also got to spend, more time at home. And then after we came out of the circuit breaker, I think we saw a lot of friends, in small batches, because that was nice as well, people that you've not met for a while, had them over. So I would say it was quite okay, It was a nice balance, work and social life. Definitely a difference. When I meet a client in person, face to face, it's very different. The rapport that you establish, the body language, everything is so obvious to both parties. They can see you and you can see them. And the emotions you can read straight away, you can't, it's more transparent when you're meeting one-on-one, face to face. But having said that, I think it was also quite comfortable. Skype calls and video calls was quite okay because I think once you establish that rapport with them in the first few minutes of your talk, within half an hour they sort of settle in and they start talking about their personal issues. It's still okay, but I still prefer, to be honest, meeting the client, face to face. But if you're not in Singapore or if you can't move around and meet people, that was the best option, to continue counseling via Zoom, not Zoom, not much because a lot of people did not have Zoom at that time. So it was mostly Skype and video calls, WhatsApp video calls. So I would say um, focus on the end game. Basically, you want to help people, and they're seeking for help. So it doesn't matter, whether they want to, whether you can meet them or they're sitting outside somewhere. You just talk on the scene. They just want a release of, to talk to someone, to listen, to help them understand what they're going through. It doesn't really matter when it comes to that. Because I'm a Malayali, and so they asked me to register with the Malayali Association. So when they put my details up on their website, I had nice a few clients from the migrant workers from the dorms calling up, mostly from Kerala because they sort of saw it on the Malayali website. For the time being, Ruby, I have no plans to go back to my private practice, which I'm doing pro bono. So it's still my own clients, and not from the charity as such. I'm going to continue pro bono. So if anyone knows of anyone who needs, a little bit of help, they can always refer them to me. I think going forward, I'm not in a hurry to go private, private again. I will take it and see how it goes. I just feel, I learned this, I did my program to help people. So, it's for me, it is more satisfying, helping people and seeing them smile again and healing them rather than do it for, as a business kind of thing. And since I am able to do it pro bono, luckily, so I think I'm not going to be in a hurry to go back to private. Though the clients will be under my New Hope. Now they're coming home, or I meet them at their home. So now I'm meeting them face to face. West, it's so common if they have an issue that they feel that they're not able to tackle, they go and see a counselor. But in our communities, it is still a little bit of a taboo. How you can help is, if they're a very close friend, you should just maybe take them, go along with them, convince them that you will be there, and hold their hand for in the beginning, and just tell them that there is help around. There's no need to struggle alone. They just have to try one session first and see the difference it makes, that it's really worth going back and talking to the counselor. And it's not anything to be ashamed of. Everyone has problems. They have to understand that if you have like a headache which is persistent for a week, you don't just keep quiet. You go to a doctor, you go to a GP, and you get your medicine. So then how much more important is it like a mental issue? If you've been struggling with something, it can be something that happened in their childhood, and they're struggling with it for 20, 25, 30 years. Why not go and seek help? Why not, get out of that rut that you're stuck in? You've been struggling with it. So someone just has to explain to them that just be a little smart. Mental health is exactly like physical health. Counseling is what? Counseling is talk therapy. My mission statement on my card, it says helping people heal. That's my only purpose. I just want people to get better, to smile again, to heal, and move on. Counseling is talk therapy. And people feel so much of relief when they talk and incidences or events that has happened in their life. Counseling is completely confidential. There's not a single person who can say, I don't have a problem. Then they're either in denial or they're in some other zone. But everyone has problems. Go seek help. That's all it is. It's like think of it as going to a GP. That's all. But it's for an issue that, it's not a physical issue. That's all. Doing all our board meetings and all that through Zoom was like a real challenge for me. I'm very tech challenged. So that was like a big thing. Well, to keep myself a little bit, on balance, I think I took up, thanks to you and someone that you interviewed, I took up diamond painting, which was really nice, interesting. I did it because I wanted to experience, doing the diamond painting. So that I did a couple. Then I started helping a friend who runs a charity in India for children with cancer. And because they come from out of station, they don't have place to sleep because they're poor. So they sleep on the streets. They have actually built accommodation in the cities. There are, I think, 37 cities where they've built accommodation where they can have clean space to sleep. It's like a room. It's like a lodge kind of thing where they can sleep and they're given food. They can cook, eat. It's like being in their own home. So I've been helping her to make cards. She wants to sell cards. So I just help her to make the cards that she takes it back to India to sell it. So that has been quite interesting. So I must say I've become heavily interested in card making. So I've got the machine and everything. So learned a lot about gardening. So I'm quite involved with landscaping. Just talking the woman to woman, I think I will definitely say pursue your passion. Whatever you want to learn something new or study something new, I think you should pursue your passion. Once the kids have grown up, I think one should basically um, chase their own passion. You can start learning anything at any age. If I could do it, 5 years ago, do a master's program, I think anybody can do anything. If it's something that you're really interested in, trust me, it'll be a breeze. I was working and studying. It's possible. Believe in yourself and go for it. And another thing which I find, as a counselor, I will say that parents put a lot of pressure on children these days. I've got kids coming, and who are suicidal. They've got suicide ideations, all because of the expectations, high expectations of parents, and what they're pushing their kids to do. Just my advice to parents is let go. Do not try and live your life through your kids. Don't live vicariously through your kids. Let them pursue the talents that they have been given by God. They have their own passions. It's their destiny. And of course, invest in your relationship with your spouse. It's an investment of time. You have to invest in your relationship. You cannot take it for granted. Especially once, when the kids grow up, then it's like you're lost, if you don't have that bond, throughout. So as much as you're focused on the children, focus on your husbands or your wives, and build that relationship. My most favorite Kerala sari is very special because this has got cut work, and it's a kashiva sari. Basically, it's a cotton sari, but the kashiva is the gold bit, the gold part of it, the gold bit. So this is done with the gold kashiva work. It comes on this part of the pallu and then along the borders as well. The person who did this is no more. And Ruby, thank you so much. You are the most, generous person, but nobody really, you hate, anyone talking about it. But thank you for all the work that you do. You are an inspiration to a whole lot of us as well. So it keeps us going.